You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're here to talk about the Lions' newest member of the team. This is Michael Brockers, who the Lions finalized a trade with last night. Actually, I should say this morning. Now, my video for Michael Brockers came out at 3:30 in the morning. I'm so sorry. Guys, I got that video done at like 1:30. It just took forever to upload. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't go to sleep because I had to wait for it to upload. So I just laid there and I was like, come on. I was so tempted to just say, you know what? Say, forget this, go to bed, and I'll wake up and upload it. But it just took a while to upload. However, we're back today with some more details on the trade, like what the Lions gave up, some more contract details, but also we're here with a little bit of film. Talking about what he's good at, what he's not so good at, but what he can bring to Detroit. So this should be an exciting video. But before we get into the film side of things, let's talk about the trade details in particular. So starting off with the trade details, the Detroit Lions, I thought would give up, you know, not this year, but next year, maybe like a day 3 pick, maybe around 4. Wow, did I overshoot on that one. See, the Rams were doing this just to save salary cap. You know, that's basically what this was. They just wanted to save cap space. They save over $6 million by moving on from Michael Brockers. And they're doing this because they wanted to restructure a contract, but they never came to a deal. So they just decided, okay, we'll trade him. So the Lions swooped in there and like, hey, we'll take on that cap, okay, because we saved enough to bring him in. We'll take on the $8.5 million in cap space this season, but we're not giving up a lot. And they didn't give up nearly anything. They gave up a 2023, so not this year, not next year, 2023 7th round pick for Michael Brockers. Okay, I overshot. I mean, that's we basically gave him nothing. It's just the fact that we're taking on the cap hit. Now, what's good about the cap situation for Michael Brockers is that, let's say this season, you know, he doesn't do super well, and, you know, next year they want to go a different direction, but they're not stuck into his contract. Here's the thing, he has a 0 dead cap in 2022. 0 dead cap, nothing. So if the Lions after this season want to move on, they want to go a different direction, easy. There could be a change in plans. The latest news that we've been given from Dave Burkett is the Lions will be looking to give him a new contract once he returns from vacation later this week, which could potentially add on years to his contract to potentially save the Lions some money this season, but lock him up a little bit longer, maybe avoidable years. I'm not exactly sure, so we'll have to wait and see, but that could change the easy out in 2022 that the Lions could have. But so far this offseason, Mike Disner has really given me no reason to not trust what he can do with the Lions salary cap. I mean, financially, he's done, I think, a really nice job with the Jalen Reeves-Maybin contract, with Terrell Williams and Jamie Collins. So we'll just have to wait and see what he does. But I have a lot of trust in what Mike Disner can do with the salary cap and work his salary cap magic. Some people say Mike Disney. Is that because of magic? I don't. Like, oh, it's wonderful. It's magic. It's magically delicious. Lucky Charms. Wait, is that Fruity Pebbles? I don't know. Take a look at this chart actually before we go into the film. I want to pull this up first. I know it may not be the easiest thing to see, but I did want to show you guys this. I think Pride of Detroit actually put this out, but it's a really good representation of what the Lions could be looking like next season because, you know, I could try to explain it, but it's easier if I can give you guys an image. So it's a similar defense to what the Lions did last season and what we're kind of expecting to see this year just because of what Aaron Glenn's history is. Aside from last year with the Saints, it's a 3-4 defense, learning from 2 gap guys and things like that. So here's what the Rams looked like last season. Now, we'll see this more in film, but you can see Michael Brockers, our new guy, he's right here. John Penisini, they have the names of who would fit here. John Penisini being our nose tackle, knowing that Danny Shelton is gone. This is assuming the defense, we look like this next season, which is kind of similar to what we really could look like. We'll see, but this is kind of assumption here. And then you got Trey Flowers. Now, you can see Trey Flowers in that role. That's the 3-tech role. Excuse me, for the Rams, Aaron Donald played that role, and that role allows him to get a lot of pressure for defenders in the 3-4 defense because that 3-tech role is where you get a lot of pressure. That's where you have a lot of opportunities. You get some one-on-ones there. And the thing is, Aaron Donald can absolutely eat from that position. They have to double team him at times, but they can't always do it because of the position that he's in, because of the position that he plays, and it allows him to absolutely go off. And that's the same position that Trey Flowers could be playing next season, which is great because Trey Flowers can get after it, not at Aaron Donald's extent because Aaron Donald's just different. Oh my gosh. Like, dude, I was watching, like, Trey Flowers is good, don't get me wrong, I really like watching Flowers, but Donald is something else. But either way, similar roles. Then you can see on the side we got Romeo, we got Julian, and we got Jamie inside. That, my friend, is a beautiful mix between guys that can get after it like crazy on the edge, Flowers, Julian, Romeo, Brockers a little bit, and then guys that can also stop the run, Brockers, Penisini, Collins, Trey. you have it all right there. And Romeo, okay? Julian, we'll see. He needs to work on his run defense, so we'll see, how he does. Michael Brockers has shown his ability over time to play in multiple different schemes, but he's played in a lot of different positions in the 3-4 defense, lining up in different spots. A lot of times at the 4-eye position, which basically means lined up against the tackle, but the inside, which is what the I stands for. The techniques are just where you line up on the defensive line. The 4-eye position, also lining up at the 3-tech position, which is on the outside of the guard, or sometimes even at the 2-tech position when he and Aaron Donald would take that role on certain downs and they put their linebackers in 9 techniques to get them outside the tight ends. So sometimes they'd play that role as well. So he's done a lot of different things with the LA Rams, and you can see from this chart right here of what you need to play the role that he's been able to play. He checks all the boxes. Big enough size, good length, fill his gap, but also be attacking in a Rams defense that was, getting after it a little bit more in the 3-4 than what the Lions were doing last season. Getting a little bit after it a little bit more in their 3-3-5 than what the Lions would, attacking a little bit more, but also checking the boxes of having some athleticism, which we'll see in the film. So let's do it. So Michael Brockers, number 90, 6'5", 305 pounds. Now, Michael Brockers is, like we just saw from that last one, he's kind of the guy that opens up a lot of players. He does a lot of the dirty work, which is what we kind of said with Josh Hill. He's the guy to, open up stunts. He'll take on 2 defenders, he'll open up someone's stunt. Sometimes he's involved as the guy that's coming off of it, but he opens up stunts, he takes on the double teams, he opens up plays for the linebackers. That's your role in this defense, and that's his role. But the exciting thing is with that role, he still found a way to put up 5 sacks, still found a way to have over 50 tackles, which is just really good production. I mean, Nick Williams, and look, he didn't play all the snaps either. He's playing a little bit over 60% of the snaps. Nick Williams had over 20 tackles, right? I mean, that's it. So this guy's still getting a lot of production while also being the guy to open up other players. First play, you see him right here, and this is just an example of him taking on the double team. He's going to get a double team. It's going to open the edge defender, and now this guy's got a free path to just make the tackle. And he's got to make the tackle. That could be Julian, that could be Romeo. They got to make that tackle. That's expected, when you're playing that role. Maybe that's Austin Bryant. They didn't throw Austin Bryant there. Austin Bryant can stop the run at a high level, but if you want pass rusher, you go Julian. So those guys could rotate. Early downs Austin, passing downs Julian gets in there. I would be perfectly fine with that, at least until Julian, continues to improve as a run stopper, but that's kind of their strength right now, and I think Austin Bryant has enough athleticism like that to play in space, like what we saw at Clemson. And Austin Bryant, he's shown us so far, he struggles a little bit online, but if you get him out to the outside, you get him, in a 2-point stance where he's not, engaged with the tackle initially and he's playing in space, that's, I think, where he could be at his best. And we've actually talked about that before. Now Michael Brockers is going to be on the left side of your screen. You can just see how it's lined up. Now this is kind of a heavy formation. You can see again he's taking the double team. Now one thing the Rams did is they brought some pressure, and of course when you bring extra guys, it opens up one-on-ones as well. Something that I think the Lions will do next season because Dom Capers and Aaron Glenn, that's what I expect to do. So that'll be exciting, bringing more than just 3 guys all the time. I'm not saying we did that, but the more guys you bring, obviously you can open up one-on-ones. You can see though he's the guy that's taking the double team here, right? This linebacker 59 is not going to come, so he's taking on the double team. He's actually got a tight end waiting for him, but it opens up everybody else. But like I said though, Aaron Donald's different. You get Aaron Donald 101, it's a problem. And it really is, because the role that you have Brockers able to play, Aaron Donald can just be an absolute nightmare for teams, just like you see on that play. So I just want to kind of demonstrate a couple of plays early just on kind of the role that he can be for the Lions and how he can open up other players. Here's kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing going on here. Michael Brockers, he gets the double team. Everybody else is going to be one-on-one, right? You bring in 4 guys. He is the guy that takes the double team because of the role that he's playing on the defense. So you bring these 2 guys off the edge. They take the left guard. They take the left tackle. He takes the right guard in the center. And you got one-on-ones with pass rushers. You got Donald, right? You got Floyd. You got one-on-ones for us. This could be pass rushers getting after, Trey Flowers, right? Trey Flowers. You got Romeo, Julian. I mean, passing downs. You got to stop the run first. But the thing is, Michael Brockers helps you there. See, when we talked about the Lions defense when we brought back Romeo, it was like, hey, we could have a scary pass rushing unit, but an issue last season when we couldn't stop the run. We had problems where we could not get into passing down situations. And if you can't stop the run, it don't matter how many pass rushes you got, because they're not going to be as valuable because they're not getting on the field. They're not getting opportunities. Michael Brockers should open up opportunities for the Detroit Lions, because Brockers and Pennicini together, woo! I'm just saying, those are 2 run stoppers right there. Stunts. So like I said, he was kind of the guy, was a stunt man, right? He was the dirty work guy that would open up stunts for a lot of guys, including Aaron Donald. So he is the guy to dip his shoulder in there to take on the 2 offensive linemen to open up pass rush. Right here, boom. He takes on really all 3 of these guys. It allows Aaron Donald to get some space to work around. As he takes on that role, he's big enough to fill those lanes. It opens up everybody else. You can see again another double team going on here, but it opens up everybody else. That notes that I took on Michael Brockers as a pass rusher. I think he's a solid pass rusher that does a lot in stunts, either working off them or setting off stunts for other players. players. As a pass rusher, I think he's okay. I think personally his go-to is the swim move. You'll see it all the time. He's always going to his swim move. As a counter pass rusher, there's not a ton there. It's actually something that goes back to college that was knocked on against him, is that he doesn't have a lot of counter pass rush moves. Now, when you're playing on the inside and things like that, it's difficult to go to spins and things because you're on the inside, right? You're filling your gaps, you're filling your lanes. You don't want to put yourself out of position consistently, so you got to do moves like that to not put yourself out of position. So really, as a counter move, he kind of just goes through a rip through or a bull rush, or work his way through rip through or a bull rush. Now, he's got a lot of heart. He's always getting after it. The motor is high. He's got high energy. He's not a dominant pass rusher. He still has good numbers. He had 30 pressures last season, which is him as Deshaun Hand, Nick Williams, and Danny Shelton combined last season. So he's still getting after it. And also, you'll notice when you watch him that if it's clearly, like if it's super obvious it's a passing down, he will come off the field. That's when he'll be off the field to get all their pass rushers out there. Early downs, normal third downs like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, sure, he'll be on the field. But you go like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 20, not now he's coming off the field because he's not that much of a pass rusher. He still has some production, but again, he sets up other players. He opens up other things for other guys. One-on-one, he'll flash occasionally, but it's not as consistent as maybe you like from a top-tier pass rusher, but he's not a top-tier pass rusher. He's mainly known for his run defense, but he can give you something as a guy that can get after the quarterback, which makes him super valuable. When he does win, it's going to be on the swim move. Most of the time here, you're going to get an example of actually more of a power move against number 52, the left guard. More of a power move here for Michael Brockers. I don't think this was great balance. He kind of just knocks him down, but he gets a sack here. He's going to flash at times. He's not going to consistently be dominant as a pass rusher, but he has some solid power as well to work into that bull rush to, kind of push back a little bit. That's kind of what you get on this next play, which I didn't save exactly well. But he actually will power back the interior offensive lineman here, which is going to bump him in the DAC, and it forces the throw to be low. You get a good example. And this is actually really cool because I saw him adjust. So the Eagles were running a lot of stretch plays, and he was getting himself found inside where, they would push him to one direction. It would get him out of place, so the running back would cut back to the outside. Well, this one's interesting. He just releases late on this play, and he just waits for the tackle to leave, and then you can see the tackle's late, and he gets back there, and he's able to come down and make a play on the football. As a run defender, he's got a lot of traits that you like. First off, he has great pursuit angles. Great pursuit. He's always chasing the football. He works his way from one side of the field to the other. He does a great job working his way back into the play. If he's pushed out initially, because that's where the play was designed to go, he'll fight his way back into the play, but he never gives up on it. He's always fighting in the run game, but I think disengaging from blockers in the pass rush can be a struggle at times for him. Even if the first move wins, sometimes he's not always able to get completely by the offensive lineman. But as a run defender, you can see he has a lot more success disengaging from one box, working, holding his ground, and then last second sliding off to making a tackle. And you'll see that a couple of times. You'll see that multiple times, I should say, at play here. And you can see some of the power here on the stretch plays. He's going to actually just work the right guard back. I mean, he's going to take him off his balance completely, and he's going to kind of blow up this play, right? He blows up that play, and he gets involved as a tackler. But as a run defender, he's stout. As a run defender, he's got the athleticism, he's got the motor that you want, he's long, he's got good size, and he has some good power as well. So he's got everything you could ask for in a run defender, which for the Lions should be very beneficial for a team that needs to stop the run first. That way they can get in pass rushing situations, and he can give you a little bit of that too. What I mean by disengaging for blocks, you're going to get him to go against the left tackle here, and he's held, but he's holding his ground, right? He's going to fill his gaps as soon as he sees that running back shoot through, and right there, slides. Last second, it's a great job by using his hands to disengage from the blocker. Watch this move right here, watch this. And last second just kind of slides under, and he just works his way down to make the tackle. He's a very good form tackler as well. Very good form tackler. And people are always saying, well, he'd make this coach proud or that coach proud. Very good form tackler. Wraps up. You're not seeing him just jump into people and just like lay his shoulder out there and he's missing tackles. You don't want guys miss tackles. Put that perspective, he didn't miss a single tackle according to Pro Football Reference last season. He rarely misses tackles. So he's a very good form tackler, and you'll see that when you watch his game. Here's a pass rush opportunity from the inside. And, he's aware. You can see he kind of wins here, but it doesn't have that extreme explosiveness to kind of work his way past the offensive lineman. But he does get his arm up, and, he may have messed up Wentz a little bit with that throw. Just being aware, just trying to make a play on the football. You'll see him get his arms up. He's going to kind of shed the left guard here and fight his way inside to get involved in this run stop. So he fills his gas really well, and he's not huge. I mean, he's 305 pounds, which is kind of the size you want. If you're looking for a 3-4, especially a two-gap defensive end, 300 pounds is a really good size. It's like a J.J. Watt size. That's what he brings, right? He gives you that size to, like we talked about, to be scheme versatile. A guy that can play in a 4-3 as a DT, play in a 3-4 as a defensive end. And he has enough athleticism to get after the quarterback, but as a run stopper, he's just really good to hold his own ground. Here again, you can see the double team. He's getting held, but then he works his way off. Again, great job to disengage with the little swim there, and he works his way back into the play, and he makes a tackle. Making a tackle in space isn't easy to do as defense lineman. You can see them overrun it. Here's another double team because that's just his role. He gets double teams, and it can open up other guys. Takes on the double team, fights through it, and works his way down, disengaging last second. Again, here, he thinks he's out of the play. Nope, works his way back into it, reaches out, long arms, really good length to fight his way back into it. I like this one. This is just kind of shows you the pursuit. You're going to see more of these as we go. But this one, he's starting down here, and he's just going to keep working his way, keep fighting his way. Good form tackler, just bring him down. Doesn't do anything flashy. Doesn't need to try to chuck him. He's just going to make his play there. Now this time you're going to see him actually the guy that's working off this stunt, so he's able to try to get some pressure. So they bring him around the outside. He works his way around the outside, and he gets there a little bit. He's a player that you can move around, can use in different positions. He's just not a dominant pass rusher. He does when it's a pass rusher. Like I said, it's that swim move. He sets it up really well. Sets up really well with his hands. He starts with the swipe, and then he works his way down. So you're going to see swipe, and then he goes right over top of that shoulder. That's his thing as a pass rusher. And like I said, with a guy that has to fill lanes, you don't want him in the inside like that spinning, getting himself out of the lane and not filling the gap. He's got to make sure that he fills his lane, and he's also in the right position. That way he's not working himself out of the play, because there was occasions like that where he would work himself out of the play, and he'd, work too far to the outside, and there'll be an open hole for a quarterback to take off. He doesn't want to get himself out of the play, so he has to do things kind of within his range. And, here you're just going to see some power. You can see the first move doesn't necessarily work, so he kind of just goes right to the bull rush, right? He just gets down and he says, okay, I'm just going to run through. So the motor's always running, right? The motor's always running. That's why I said as a counter rusher, he's got the rip through and usually just goes right to a bull rush. Here's a great job pursuit. You can see he looks like he's out of play, but he works his way back into it to be involved on this tackle because, look, he breaks that tackle, right? So if he's not there, maybe that run keeps going. You always got to have your head up. You always got to be fighting to stay in the play, and he's always trying to get involved in plays here. And again, if he's going to win, if he's going to beat you immediately, it's going to be with that swim move that he'll set up. He's going to start off to the right here. He's going to slap down the left arm, and that'll force the Seattle offensive lineman to work his way, gets him off balance, gets him out of position. Then he goes right over the top with the shoulder, and he's back to the quarterback. This is a huge sack because it forced them to kick a field goal, and they ultimately lost that game. It was near the end, but they ultimately lost that game. And then again here, look at this. Just working his way back into the play. So you're taking these zone plays. I mean, it's hard to stay in it. You're trying to take on a left guard, trying to fill your lane, and you got a left tackle, and you try to take on a right guard, fill your lane. You got a right tackle coming up, just smacking you on the shoulder. I mean, you're gonna get shoved out of it. Look how far he is, but he doesn't stop there. He doesn't stand there and be like, "Oh, it's over." Look at him fight back into it. Then he just says, "Okay, I'm going right back at you." Goes right back at the tackle, and he says, "I'm getting the tackle. I'm making the play." And that's why he's graded out so high as a run defender. Great pursuit. He's all the way over here. Look how far he is from the ball, right? I mean, that's like good 15 yards probably. And he just works his way back into the play. He's breaking tackles, but he's the guy to ultimately make the tackle. Good form tackle, goes right by the legs. And he's got a lot of size. You're not going to break out of many of those tackles. Holds up his gap really well here and then disengages. And he just stays involved. Good, solid form tackler. Just doesn't miss tackles. Very reliable as a tackler. Same thing there, sliding off last second. Then you get him on a one-on-one here. And again, he's not super dominant in one-on-ones. Like, he can beat him flash sometimes, but not constantly. Even like I said here, he wins the one-on-one initially, it seems like, but he just doesn't have that explosiveness and burst to continue with the play. So then he has to go to his counter rush move, which he tries to go through the rip through and just kind of fight through. But again, the motor's there. So if you hold up in the back end, you can get things like this, and he's always chasing. He's always pursuing. And then I thought I'd throw in a couple clips here from back in 2015 when he was in a 4-3 defense to just kind of see that he was doing similar things. Now he's in the inside. He's always been working with Aaron Donald. He's always been Aaron Donald's, kind of sidekick. And here he gets that run stop. Boom. Makes the run play in the backfield. Same exact thing, right? The swim move. And again, filling his lane, disengage, make the play. It's something that he's been doing for years. So as a pass rusher, I don't think you're going to be blown away. I mean, you'll see flashes in his game. You're going to see the energy. You're going to see the motor there. But really, I think what his role will be with the Lions, no matter what defense we go to, but, if it is a similar defense to what the Rams did last season, which we saw from this, which I'll pull back on the screen, and be the guy that can help open up players like Trey Flowers, can help open up Julian, can help open up Romeo, players like that. He can take on the double teams. He's going to be a force. And like I said, this is one of those, if this was your lineup, right, you're not losing anything here. Like, if you don't have Michael Brockers at this position, and you have a guy that's not that great of a run stopper, but you have a solid pass rusher, you could be losing a little bit here. But with Pennicini and Brockers, he's known to be a run stopper. So you're going to get both. You're going to get a guy that's going to show you the effort to get after the quarterback and continue on to play and open up other players that can flash in one-on-one situations. And we've seen that because of his stats. I mean, 30 pressures in last season is no joke. That's 2 a game, right? That's impressive. So he's going to give you a couple a game. A lot of times if it's one-on-one, you get him double teamed, he's not doing a ton there. But again, one-on-one, you'll see him flash. He'll get a little bit of pressure, but that's just because he continues to fight. He continues to stay in the play. But this is a lineup where you got pass rushers everywhere. Trey Flowers will be opened up playing Aaron Donald's type of role by far. Hey, Trey Flowers, look out for 10 sacks, especially if we do something like that. I'm just saying, this might be his highest sack season if he can stay on the field. And then, of course, Michael Brockers, great run defender. Pennicini, good run defender. Romeo, good run defender. Trey Flowers, great run defender. Collins had, 100 tackles last year? I mean, you got run defenders, and then, of course, Austin Bryant can always flip in and out with Julian Okwara. So this is a really good lineup overall for the Lions to get for a 7th pick for 2023. And when you can't, really trust at this point, Hand staying healthy, Austin Bryant staying healthy. Who can you trust to be healthy? Trey Flowers is coming off a season where he was injured. He's a clear upgrade. Williams, Deshaun Hand, Jayshon Cornell, and I don't know Jayshon, we haven't seen him yet, but he's coming off an injury as well. So he's an instant upgrade. He'll be our best right away, and you get good depth because he's not going to play 100% of snaps. He might play a little over 60. So you got to have guys that can rotate in. You got to have guys like Nick Williams, who it seems like they're going to keep. Deshaun Hand, right? He's still, here. I think he's still under his rookie deal. Is this his final year of his rookie deal? It might be. And then, of course, Jayshon Cornell. So we got depth. Is this his final year of his rookie deal? It might be. And then, of course, Jayshon Cornell. So we got depth. He'll be the best right away. So our defensive line gets an automatic upgrade with this, and they just look better now. So you want guys that are going to be on the field. And recently we haven't been able to trust that our guys can consistently be on the field. So it is nice to have someone like that. So let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.